Hi everyone, welcome to Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. I am once and for all going to convince you guys that I am totally crazy. During our garage cleanup, we also embarked upon a front yard cleanup with our landscaping. When we moved into our home, we really didn't think in terms of how it would look at least a year or so later. Well, we weren't satisfied with the landscaping and we decided to put a little effort behind it. So guys, I want to take you on the journey that we made to update our landscaping in the front yard. Let's go to work. After speaking with our landscaper about my budget for our yard, well, I also had some other things to consider. The types of plants that I wanted and if they would work in this area where I live, and also a layout, an actual plan for where I wanted everything to be. And finally, take a trip out to a nursery where he was going to be getting the plants and see exactly what they had available. Now this is a familiar sight to me, ponies and summers in the country with my grandparents. I told you guys, I am a country girl at heart. Well, okay, after about a half-mile drive off the main highway, I see nothing but plants. Wow, acres and acres of plants. This is so pretty, and the sky is just perfect, and the weather is awesome. I tell you, getting out early and just enjoying this is just amazing. I can't wait to get out of the car and show you guys what I'm actually looking at. Wow. All right, I'm very, very excited. There is only one person working at this time. She's a very sweet lady. She speaks very little English, and she did as best as she could tell me that. I will help you. If you have any questions, just let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and let her work, and I'm going to go ahead and make my tour, take a few pictures of what I'd like to see, and follow back up with my landscaper and see if we have a good fit for my front yard. Now be sure to close your windows if you're going to go out to a place like this. They have an automatic sprinkler system and you never know what time they're going to come on. And you could get back to your car and have wet seats. Oh wow, I think I'm in Alice in Wonderland. I've seen these trees before. They shape the branches into little round balls and they look so pretty. They don't have a name on them and I really would like to know what they are. This is probably the most relaxing shopping spree that I have ever had. Wasn't it a wonderful walk in the park? Now let's go home and update our list and give the landscaper a phone call. I think I've made my selections, but I'm sure that's in his hands right now to see if it's going to work best for our front yard. But I think this was an amazing tour. Wish I knew all the names of all the plants, and a lot of things didn't have anything on them. And like I said, help was limited. So let's go home, and I'll give you as much information as I can about the plants a little bit later. All right, as you can see, the guys are removing the old plants and then they're going to carry those away. Now, that is also a fee that has to be included in your actual estimate. So keep that in mind, the actual removal and then the carrying away of the old plants. Now keep in mind, while they were working, we were also working in the garage, as well as doing a little extra spray painting. We spray painted our furniture for the front porch with that hammered nail finish. And I also placed the fern that I had saved from last year. And here's how I did that. I simply cut the fern back and then leave it on the back porch through the winter season. And then when it starts to bloom just a little bit, I take it out of the pot and I then slice it in half, remove the bottom, and then I place in new potting soil and put the top back in, and it comes back to life. Now, one thing is for sure, I wanted our landscaping to be interesting, with different shapes, triangles and circles. So the first plant that you see is actually a large holly. There are 2 of them and they flank the front of the house. I also added a third one on the opposite side of the driveway. As we continue to move away from the wall, along the edge, you see a variegated gardenia, and you also see monkey grass with those little purple plants or flowers starting to stick out of the top. The variegated gardenia is going to grow low and flat. That's going to give me some coverage for all of this bark, so you won't see as much bark as this continues to grow and spread out. One of the favorite things I have about our yard are these 2 spiral topiaries that are on opposite sides of the steps. I can't wait for those to grow up and get all lit up for Christmas. Now, I wanted to be able to do some gardening on a small scale, so we opted for these 2 pots on opposite side of the sidewalk. And I just love the fact that I can change out these plants to anything that I want over the course of the year. And right now we have purple heart and monkey grass. I am truly thankful for our landscaper, Mr. Charles Andrews, for coming up with this idea. He installed a drip line inside of this pot, so when the lawn is being watered, this plant is being watered at the same time. Thank you. Now, to give our landscaping a little bit more variety, we added 2 stones on opposite sides, and I almost wish that they were a little bit taller, shall I say, but I like the addition. This tall plant is called a sky pencil, and it's going to grow up and cover this blank wall beautifully. And lastly, we added a little driveway for our trash can. Now, our yard is certainly not without fragrance. We have the dwarf magnolia, and this little plant has a white flower and it smells so good. You can take those off and put them in a bowl, and my God, the fragrance is amazing. I have them planted on opposite sides of the trash can. Well, did you enjoy the gorgeous outdoors today, that gorgeous sky from earlier in the video? And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you will consider doing so today. Guys, I thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, stay in prayer and stay creative.